You guys have seen people survive 100 days and 1,000 days, but in this video, I am going to be surviving for 10,000 days straight. This was actually insane, and if you like insane videos, then subscribe. Once I loaded into the world, I immediately noticed that there were 10,000 shulker boxes in front of me. I opened one, and it had full iron blocks in it. So I took a couple of boxes with me and searched for pumpkins. I went to the deep dark and tried surviving in it for day 1000. This was the scariest experience of my life, because everywhere I looked, there would always be skulk sensors around me. Anytime I encountered a warden, I would let loose 10 iron golems and then escape. This worked really well until 2 wardens spawned. This was super scary because I only had 1 pumpkin left. I created my last iron golem and ran away. After I got out of the deep dark, I was in a mine shaft. I went to the nearest chest and found full netherite in it. After surviving in the caves for 1000 days, I decided to go back to the surface. Since I needed to get gunpowder and bones, I tried making a super mob farm for day 2000. This wasn't going to be any normal mob farm. This thing would be the biggest mob farm ever. Since this was my first time making a mob farm, this took forever to finish. Once I finished making it, I went down to the chest and found out that they were already full with bones and gunpowder. I almost died several times on day 3000 because I went to the end and raided 100 end cities. The shulkers were super annoying because they wouldn't stop shooting at me. After I was done looting, I flew over to the ender dragon and pretty much one-shot killed it. Day 4000 was the chillest day ever. I decided to make a house for the first time ever, and once I got done making my house, I made a giant pumpkin farm. And instead of trading the pumpkins for emeralds, I got traded full diamond blocks. Day 5000. I can't believe I was about to risk my entire game for this. I decided to let loose 100 wardens. This might have been the stupidest idea ever, but I had backup. I spawned 100 iron golems to help me kill them, and once I realized the wardens were too much for the iron golems to handle, I did the unthinkable. Well, at least now I know never to do that again. I made an infinite sand machine for day 6000. This was actually kind of hard to do, because I had no idea how to do it. So since I didn't know how to make one, I just let my friend do it for me. I made 10,000 blocks of TNT and went to a village and traded them some TNT. I decided to make a giant emerald road. This wouldn't be just a normal road. This would be an emerald road with netherite beacons and wither guards. So what I'm saying is, I wanted to flex on day 7000. It was kind of tricky getting the withers in position, but once I did, it looked pretty cool. Oh, and I also had a giant mountain of diamonds with a tiny little house inside it. I decided to start a raid, unleash the wither, and spawn in the ender dragon for day 8000. While they were fighting, I decided to make a giant bridge that would lead to the end island. Once I came back to see how the fight was going, it was already over. The ender dragon had won. Since I really didn't want that to happen, I released 5 more withers, and instead of a raid, I released 10 ravagers and hoped that the withers wouldn't fight them. While they were fighting, I finished up my bridge and wasted some time by looting some cities. This time, when I got back, the ender dragon was finally dead. I made a giant train track. This sounds cool, right? But wait until you see what it looks like. Day 9000 might have been the coolest day ever because of this. Since trains are like roller coasters on steroids, I decided to make these tracks go all the way to build limit. Then, once I got to the top, I made it go all the way down to bedrock. Going down to the bedrock wasn't enough, so I made a tunnel that led into the ocean. It was really fun until I saw guardians everywhere. But after I escaped the guardians, I realized this was too dangerous and destroyed everything. I lost everything on day 10,000. Let me explain. I was wandering around until I came across my friend. He had end crystals in his hands. And since I didn't want to die, I just gave him everything I had and ran away. I was at my lowest point, and I couldn't even find food. When I was about to die, I stumbled upon a village, and I immediately opened a chest and found all my stuff. Since my friend didn't think to blow up everything I had, I took my stuff and searched for him. When I eventually found him, he was up on a sky platform. I flew up there, and he turned to face me. This was probably going to be the hardest fight. Oh. I guess he didn't think about that.